Is the news that we're talking about today about Instagram changing for small creators going to affect you or not?
If you come in with the right strategy from the beginning, you can grow very fast. I'm living proof of that. And I think what's hard is having that success and being able to do that, and then all of a sudden it being like, oh, all that hard work, we're going to cut it off now.
But it does open up a good opportunity of a lot of non-followers that have never seen your content to then see it. But it's tough because
I also know they're saying help small creators because they've heard a lot of complaints from small creators, right? So they're trying to speak to those people, and it is going to help smaller creators because it's going to give them that chance where they're not relying on their current people. I also don't want people to
We are going to be talking today mostly about the new Instagram changes that I know everybody is trying to figure out. Is it going to affect them? How is Instagram going to do this and more? The real question is, content will now initially be seen by more non-followers. What do you think of this change?
good question. I have kind of mixed feelings with this. I think with regards to the type of content that we are putting out there, I always like our audience like being able to be visible and seeing it, and that's why it's very important to put, let's say, the accounts that you do want to follow religiously on the favorites option, and having that tab available that you could really see their content going out there. But it's tough because you do want your existing audience to see it, and sometimes that wouldn't be the case in this type of situation. But it does open up a good opportunity of a lot of non-followers that have never seen your content to then see it as well. So
I'm indifferent.
Really? Okay.
I think it's great that, because I work with so many students that our smaller accounts are starting from fresh with the strategies that we teach, right? But the thing is, if you, and this might be a sensitive subject for a lot of people, if you come in with the right strategy from the beginning, you can grow very fast. I'm living proof of that. And I think what's hard is having that success and being able to do that, and then all of a sudden it being like, oh, sorry guys, all that hard work and that success, we're going to cut it off now. So I think it's great for smaller accounts to have that visibility, because I've been there before. I've been a small account. I've been frustrated, and I haven't been, I was stuck in the 100-view jail. I was super frustrated. But what made me get out of that was getting mentorship and going in with strategy, because I had no strategy. I really didn't. When I look back, I thought I did, but I didn't. But I do think this is great. And I think all of you that are considered whatever that number is, consider a small account. We don't know what that is. This is your time to shine. This is your time to put in the work. This is your time to learn strategies and not just bet on this change, but to come in with strategy as well, because there's going to be an influx and a saturation of smaller accounts getting pushed out. So you have to remember that too. So what's going to put you above that kind of competition, if that makes sense, right? So you still have to come. You can't just bet on this change for your content to effortlessly be put out. Come in with strategy, but come in hard and aggressive now when it happens. Yeah.
Definitely wise strategy. What is your answer to this question on the screen here, Meagen, in regards to the change of how Instagram is focusing on small creators?
My biggest thought is that they're still not really they're not telling us the whole truth, I kind of feel, because I actually just saw it in the comments here, which I was going to mention, about how this actually is supposed to be equal opportunity for all creators, not necessarily harming larger accounts. And I hope that is true. That is how I took it. But I also know they're saying help small creators because they've heard a lot of complaints from small creators, right? So they're trying to speak to those people, and it is going to help smaller creators because it's going to give them that chance where they're not relying on their current people. I also don't want people to go into this change thinking they don't have to still work on building their community and nurturing and loving who's already there, right? They're thinking, oh, I'm going to go to new people, doesn't matter. You still have to do the work to connect with the people who are there, because they're there for a reason. Whether or not they're engaging all the time right now, they followed you for a reason. And so don't forget about the people who already are there supporting you, and do your best to find a way to really mold in your new strategies with the current strategies you have of connecting with your people.
Yeah, I think you guys are really hitting the nail on the head in regards to a topic that I did not think a lot of people had observed or really spoke a lot on, because when this news came out, I only saw nothing but optimism about it, which is great. There's a part of it that is really positive. No matter what the size is, I like the approach that he is considering to help amplify, as he put it in his own words. I'm going to read this quote: trying to amplify small creators specifically through recommendations. Because as he also stated, I don't think Instagram has been doing good enough by small creators. And I agree. I think we would all agree with that. But with this being said, we are definitely going to be getting more reach for the small creators. Now, I think the problem lies in regards to the current followers. And that's my problem. I haven't seen a lot of people speak about this. And I think you guys have all kind of touched on it a little bit. We have an idea of how the algorithm works right now. Like, let's just say you have 1,000 followers. Generally, it would show maybe your content to about 10% of that audience. Let's just use 10%. So that's 100 people. Before this change, that was mostly to your followers. And even then, that's a small amount. 90% of your audience is not seeing your content that wants to see it. But from this change, what I'm hearing is that initial 10% is now going to be split. So that means even less of your current followers are going to be seeing your content. So maybe now it's 50 people that followed you and 50 that have never followed you before. Yes, your reach is going to increase to non-followers and you have a more of a likely chance to grow. But at the same time, your content is now being alienated and held back from those that have already decided to follow you. I like to consider the TikTokification. Oh no, I said the word. Don't
Oh no, great shutdown.
Don't shut me down. Don't shut me down. But I think it's pretty much that platform's process of how they became so successful. Instagram is trying to adapt it. I understand why, and I can see it working. But as Meagen stated, we can't forget about those that already follow us. And I have a fear that the number of growth that we're going to experience is going to foreshadow those that have already followed us. And we're going to be ending up focused so much on that follower growth, that number, that, oh, now I'm going by 1,000 people. You're going to forget about the first initial 1,000 people that had already decided to follow you. So that's my real big concern about this change. I think you guys really shared a lot of great insight in regards to this. But please, if you guys can, take all of the advice that we just shared and we laid out in regards to these last 3 questions, in regards to the brand new changes on Instagram that you guys are going to be affected by. Whether you're small or big, we are going to be affected by things that happen on Instagram and maybe even from other apps that are off of Instagram. So we have to start utilizing some of these tips that James and Lexi and Meagen and myself had just shared in regards to how to prepare for the new Instagram changes. Take this information and advice so that you can step your gram up in the best way possible.
Really about today's topic, would you rather only see posts from people you currently follow or only see posts from people that you don't follow yet?
That's a good one.
Lexi, you're up.
Don't put me on that. To be honest, I would rather see